Hey students, it's Scott here, and I'm here to talk to you about tissues. I know it's been kind of slow on the lab so far, but it's okay. Before we did a lot of stuff that was kind of like review, but now this week is when we start tissues, and this is when we really start getting into anatomy and physiology. So, one thing you've done already, and I know because you're working away at it, is you have started looking at these tissues and the different types of tissues. You know, we have the epithelial tissue, we have the connective tissue, the muscle, and the nervous tissue. We have the four major types. So it's very important for you to be able to recognize those four kinds. You know, in your notes in the book, it goes into great detail, but sometimes when you look at the pictures, they don't quite match up with the actual specimens that we have. And so what I do is I got a whole bunch of examples that I'm going to go through. I'm going to start with this one. Now, what we're going to do is 2 weeks from now, on Thursday, I'm going to open up the first lab practical. And we're going to do it on Schoology. Okay? And it's going to be on these things. So it's really important that you learn these. So I'll have them on video, so you can practice going on them again and again on the video. But then again, I'll have PowerPoints and the answers to the PowerPoints. So they're a complete set here to practice with. Okay, so and I'll have all the different tissue types. Well, first group we're looking at epithelial. Okay, so just give me a second here. Let me get turned so you can see. Okay, and I hope this is okay with you. This is in the lab in Colorado City, or not lab, but the lecture room, and I hope it's okay. But anyway, so epithelial tissue is always towards the outside of things, like that's the skin, lining of the organs. This particular one is a very special one, and it extends from there to there. The cells are not exactly squamous, cuboidal, columnar, pretty odd shapes. This is the oddest of all. But one thing you can tell right away is it's got multiple layers of cells. See all the nuclei? So this would be the first layer, okay? See that, the basal layer? And then we come out, there'd be another layer, and then there'd be another layer, and there'd be another. So it's multiple layers. But in this case, it's not stratified squamous, which is usually what you would see. This, on the other hand, has these really larger cells that are out here on the surface, facing the urine. Yes, this is transitional epithelium, and we find it in our urinary tract. Okay? So take a quick look at this, and we're going to move on to the next one. There will be a quiz on this, remember. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next layer. Okay, one thing to look at first. Let's look up here on top. See this here? Wow. How many layers are you looking at here on this one little area? Right here? It's one cell layer. So that makes it simple. Cell shape. Is it cuboidal, or is it columnar, or is it squamous? Yes, it's squamous. So this would be simple squamous here, and down beneath, when we come down inside here, we have a strange layer that we often see underneath the epithelial tissue, particularly in places where we have vessels, blood vessels. And this would be our smooth muscle layer, like you find in an artery or something like that. Okay, are we good with this? So we have the simple squamous on top, and then of course you can see this layer of smooth muscle down beneath here. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, next, let's look around here, and you can see, how many rows do we have here? You see from here to here. After that, you can see, these blood vessels. You see the capillaries and the actual blood cells that we have right here. Okay, and we'll come back to this in a moment. But, so how many layers do we have here? Is it one, or is it two? And what's the shape? I say stratified cuboidal, because that's a pretty much of a cube section. So you can see the nucleus there, and you can see the cell going like that, and there's a second cell. So it's like two rows of cells that you have going like that. Okay? Very, very good. And let's see what else we have here that would be interesting. So beyond this would be connective tissue, and we would call that areolar connective tissue. Okay? You good with me? All right. So excellent. And the major tissue type of this would be connective. And the specific type would be, yes, blood. You guessed it. Good job. Right? And, oh, I think we just did that one. Okay, let's do another one here. Oh, this one goes from right here to right there. Okay? What do you think? How many rows of cells we have? There to there. See the nucleus? This would be one. And what's the shape? Those are columns. So this would be simple columnar. And again, beneath this would be the areolar connective tissue that we always have. Okay. Oh, how about this one? You can see it goes from there, comes along right there. What's your guess on this one? Does it look stratified? You see any places where it's stratified? Or does it all look simple? I say simple. And I say columnar again. With, look below, I see some more blood, some more connective tissue there with the blood. And of course this other business here would be the areolar connective tissue, which is, we know that simply because it's always going to be there. We're always going to have areolar connective tissue taking up space, particularly underneath this epithelial tissue. Okay? Ooh, this is a tough one. Often see this kind of thing in the pancreas or sometimes in the urinary tract. What am I saying? In the kidneys, the kidney tubules. You have cross sections. But anyway, so it's kind of confusing. But watch. Imagine you have this long tube and it's just cut. You do this cross section, and so here would be the cells. So would it be simple, or would we stratified here? That would be simple, because this would be just one row. Okay. Next, shape. Is it columnar? Is it squamous? Or is it cuboidal? Simple cuboidal. Very good. I know you guys got that one right. Oh my goodness, look at this. Holy smokes. Rows and rows and rows coming through here. What do you think you've got here? Does it look stratified? Or does it look simple? Well, this is stratified. There's no doubt that's stratified. It's got multiple layers. And generally speaking, when we have multiple rows like that, we would call it stratified squamous. Even though the shape of the cells are kind of confusing there, it would be multiple rows, and that would be stratified squamous. Okay? Ooh, this one's a little harder. And you can see the row would be right along here. Okay? Kind of hard to see. We have these big old giant spaces in between here, where there might be something called air that would come in here. And so I see a nucleus there, I see a nucleus there, I see one there. Does it look like a round nucleus or a flat nucleus? I say flat. So that means it's a squamous cell. And how many rows are we looking at? Is it stratified? No, it's simple. So that would be simple squamous. Ooh, and then what about this one? Let's take a looky here. Oh, this is an important one. You see going all the way along on top there? Really nice. What is that? That would be cilia. Lots of cilia. Whenever we see cilia like this, it's often part of the respiratory tract. And that tells you a whole lot real quick, because there's a certain kind of tissue we always find in the respiratory tract. But how many rows of cells would you say? Is that one? It looks like two. Or is it three? Oh, wow, it's all over the place there, isn't it? This is ciliated, pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And you go, what? How the heck did I get that? Well, one thing is the cilia, because it's always found there in that ciliated pseudostratified. Lots and lots of that. And it's kind of odd. The cells, it's not that the cells are like on top of each other. The cells have really strange shapes as they come through. And so other cells kind of go in between them and around them and all this kind of thing. So it's pseudostratified. It's really just simple, but it looks stratified. But remember my little tip, the little cilia, that always gets you the right answer if you think about it. Okay, let's go on here. Oh my, there's another one. Right here, this right here, comes around like that. I see a few of them in here like that. Ooh, there's another one. There's one. Whew, there's one. Over here we got one. Uh-huh. So, how many rows? 1 or 2? 1. So it'll be simple. Shape of cell. It's round, isn't it? Looks like a round ball. That'd be a cuboidal. So this is simple cuboidal. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Goes from here to here. And you can see the nuclei going all the way around like that. 1 or 2 rows. From there to there. That's right. It's 1. And what's the shape of that cell? That would be columnar. So this would be simple columnar. And this material inside here, what do we call that? It's areolar connective tissue there. Very good. All right, let's go on. Ooh, this looks familiar. Seems like we've seen this before. What do you notice first? I know. You saw it. You saw the cilia. Haha, that tells you something right there. And then again, look at the shape of the cells. They're kind of, some of them are really long, and this one kind of fits in, and this one over here is around that side, and this one comes up, and this one fits in like this. Pseudostratified. Again, ciliated, pseudostratified. Columnar epithelium. That's what that is. Okay. All right, and I think we just managed to go all the way through, although we're pointing to this. This time, what do we got there? Major tissue type. Would it be epithelial? Is that muscle? No, it's connective tissue, and the type is the little red cells, and that would be blood. So we got blood there. Would be the specific type of connective tissue we have. All right. Ooh, what about this one here? Comes around. See it? This is the border there. It's the border here. And the cells, nuclei are all over the place. But you know, it's not pseudostratified or anything like that. They're definitely distinctive cells as we go through here. And they're elongate cells. And I see how many rows? Ooh. I think it's just 1, is what I'm seeing right now. And so I think this is simple columnar. And what do we got here? Oh, that's another one. See the cilia up there? And see the shapes? There to there. Ciliated, pseudostratified, columnar epithelium. Oh, here's one. Goes right along there. Goes right to there. How many rows? That would be 1. Shape of cells? Columnar. Simple columnar. And what's here? That's right, it's areolar. Ooh, this one's not as good. But I tell you, I'm seeing a couple. See that? There's a couple. This is looking stratified to me. And it's definitely columnar. So I think that's stratified columnar right there. Ooh, looky here. We've seen this before with these big cells on the outside. You remember that? That's right. Transitional. Transitional epithelium. Multiple rows with these big pillow-like cells on the outside. Ooh, look at here, right there to right there. This is a tricky one. You look around, and I see a lot of spots where I see 2. Do you see that going along there? That's stratified. And the shape looks pretty round to me. I would say cuboidal. Stratified cuboidal is my guess on that one. Ooh, oh my goodness, look at this one. Ooh, from there to there. Nucleus, 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 nucleus. Shape of cell. Looks like columnar. Stratified columnar. Yeah, that's my guess on that one. And anyway, so students, just want to let you know, you guys are all doing really good. The grades are fine, everything's good. Just focus on today and work on the things that we have going. Your HOL, I finally got the link today. Yay! So you're going to get to be able to activate your product that you have. It's no big deal. It's week 3. We're doing great. The most important thing is for you to get this down now. And I had one here today, just to get you started on this, and then on Thursday I'll have a bunch more, now that I think I got this whole thing figured out. And if this looks terrible, I might put it down and do it again, because it's the first time I've tried to do this in this room. But I'm hopeful that this is going to work out for you. Anyway, so the lab's going to be fine, and you guys are doing great, so just relax. You're doing great with your discussion boards. I'm really enjoying reading those. I mean, so many of those. And I'm just pleased to death. You guys are doing so good. So just keep firing forward and keep studying and do those review sheets I was telling you about, those review sheets that I made that match up nicely with that little quiz you have at the end of the week. That's the key there. I make it consistent there. And we're just going to keep on going like that, and you guys are going to keep on making A's because you guys are A students. All right. So anyway, talk to you again soon.